Hello, good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Live a Phenomenal Life Show with Madame Merola. And yes, you guessed right. I am the Madame Merola. I am the bank creator that ignites the beautiful and bold, audacious, no excuses, God's masterpiece in you. Yes, this show is all about you. It's all about inspiring, empowering, and transforming you to be the highest, best version of yourself. Welcome to season 5, episode 9, where I have a phenomenal guest. She's already in the backstage waiting to wow you guys with the power of positive self talk. Her name is Dr. AnnMaureen Nwabuzor, and she is joining me from the United States, Texas to be exact, and I am streaming live from Abuja, Nigeria. So, as you can see, anything is possible. Whenever you want to do something in life, you can put your mind to it. Trust me, you can make it happen. So, we are here today to ensure that you are living your best life. And that is why, even though I could not stream at 12 new, which is the usual time, we are still here because we're committed to ensure that you get all the tips and tools to live the life that you deserve. So, welcome, guys. It's good to be back and it's nice to see you all. Let me know where you are joining me from. If you are on YouTube or on Facebook, use the comment or chat box to be able to communicate with my guest and I. And we'll be able to see your comments and respond to them. You can type your questions, you can share your own comments about the topic of the day. And of course, feel free to interact with us as much as you like. In fact, we urge you to do that because it's all about us together. Welcome, Bamidele Femi Mobalaji from Ibadan, Nigeria. How are you doing today, sir? It's good to have you here. So, as we get other people logging in, also as you log on, you can use the share button to share this video with other people so that they can also watch the live stream. So, what is your one word for the week that is going to help you to stay powered up? That is one of the rituals that we have here on the show. We have one word that we select every week to help us to be able to stay attuned to what we want to do, because every week it's good to have a focus point, right? And sometimes you can carry over the same focus point if you feel that you still need more of the benefit that comes from that word. So I would love to know what your one word is for this week. So Bamidele Femi Bogota just shared his. He said persistent. I love that. Okay. It's good to be persistent in all you do. So for me, my one word for this week is joy. I want to maintain my joy at all costs, no matter what, especially as we go into the holiday seasons right now. Some people confuse what this whole season is about, and they just think it's about sharing gifts or taking time off. For me, I want to celebrate the joy of the fact that my Lord and Jesus Christ came so that I might have a better life. So, for whatever reason, no matter what I'm going through, I'm going to maintain my joy throughout this week. In fact, I'm looking to start a joyful challenge for many of us going into the Christmas season. So if you're interested, make sure you send me a DM later so that you can join the joyful challenge as well, because our joy must be full. And the more we are intentional about being joyful, the easier we find to live a joyful life. Okay, so great, guys. I can see you guys are logging in. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As I said, this is season 5, episode 9, and I have a guest joining me today. Her name is Dr. AnnMaureen Nwabuzor, and we're going to be talking about the power of positive self talk. Okay, so before I bring her on screen, let me read her bio for you, a short one, and then I'll bring her on screen, and then we can get the show started with our affirmations of the day. And then, of course, we get to start talking to our wonderful, beautiful guest that is beautifully waiting in the background. And she is an amazing lady. She's a friend of mine as well. So, yay. I love when I have my friends join me on the show. It's always interesting, right? So, sorry, I'm just scrolling down to where her bio is so that I can read it for you guys. So, alrighty. So, who is our guest for today? Let me share a picture of her. just so that you guys can anticipate. Okay. All right. That's what we got today. Dr. AnnMaureen. She's a self-esteem coach, professional cheerleader, and fear fighter. Woo! Her interests, research, life and work experiences led her to explore the powerful effects of words, the conflict that takes place within self and others, and strategies to overcome the factors that prevent one from achieving purpose and success in life. Her purpose is to help women reprogram their minds and get past limiting beliefs caused by self doubt, low self esteem, and pain from traumatic experiences so that they can achieve life changing success in life and work. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, bring out your emojis and your virtual claps and help me to welcome on the stage Dr. AnnMaureen.
Woo! Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Welcome.
Joy
Hi.
personified. Joy personified. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. It's great to have you here. Did you like my one word for the week, right?
I love
Joyful.
it. Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
You're so right. That's what we should be focusing on. That should be the intent of this entire season. Joyful. And I love that. I'm like, whoa, I should have thought about that. That's the reason for the season. Well, I want to join that joyful challenge. Yeah, I'm all
It's
about
going to be
that.
fun,
Yeah,
honestly, because we can find it easy for things to start to deplete our joy level.
yeah.
So we must be intentional about being joyful. So
Period. I'm
it's a play
joyful.
of words, so joyful challenge because our joy has to be so full, it's overflowing and
Mhm.
contagious so that it
Yes.
spreads to others. That's what we want to do. They say, joy to the world. Let us be the joy that is diffusing our beautiful essence to the rest of the world as well. So that is why
Woo!
I chose joyful for the challenge. Yay! Thank you. So welcome, guys. This is so much fun. This is Dr. AnnMaureen. As you
Thank
just
you.
you read a bio, but trust me, she's going to tell you a little bit more interesting stuff about herself because bios can be so limited and sometimes very, very boring, right? So you're going to get to hear from the horse's mouth herself about how she became a doctor, and then whether she's a doctor of letters or a doctor of medicine, you get to find out. You get to also know why she's called the Fear Fighter cheerleader and the self-esteem coach, all the different things that led her to get here. But before we get to that, let us start with the affirmations of the day. So I've got my box out. Woo-hoo! The box of affirmations are out. There are 52 inside it, and I'm randomly just going to select the ones that we're going to share for today. So I need to bring them all out and shuffle it right here on the screen so that you guys don't think Madame Merola picked them in advance. No, I didn't. So that way, we go with the flow. So I'm going to select 5 randomly. 1,
Two.
2, 3. I'll go with the top one. 4. What's in the back? 5. Thank you. You know she's a teacher. You can see. She's a teacher because she's already helping us along the way. All right, drum rolls. Are we ready to speak affirmations? Woo! First one
Yeah.
says, I am in control of my life.
I
I
am.
am in control of my moods. I make the right decisions and the right moves daily. I own my power and my choices.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Powerful, powerful. The second card says, I have a positive attitude about
Mm,
all that concerns me. I make things happen with my goal getter spirit.
love it.
Yes, yes,
Love it.
yes, yes. The third card says, I am intentional and deliberate about my life. I have a laser focus towards
Mm.
my life's visions and goals. I say yes to my dreams and heart's desire. Woo! These
Yeah.
cards are on fire today. Come on now. Oh my God. I told you the Holy Spirit is
He's
always on point. This next card proves it. I have a great self image. I have a high self-esteem.
Wow.
I embrace my true identity. I love myself and I'm always true to myself. I am me, and that's the best person for me to be. Come on now. If you love
Beautiful.
that card, I want to see
Beautiful.
some super emojis going up on the screen, y'all. All right. So the final one, the fifth one, what does it say? Are we ready? I feel gigantic amount of power
Hmm.
within me. I feel strong and bold today. I feel worthy and deserving. I feel great beyond words. If you love my affirmation cards, can you just go, woo
Woo-hoo!
Come
I'll
on
take
now.
it. Woo-hoo! Wow. So on point. So on point. So on point. Like I said, the
Come
Holy
on
Spirit
now.
doesn't lie. Doesn't lie.
Yeah, I was just like, 52 cards. What was the odds that the right ones for this show would come up? That's just what happens. Positive thoughts,
Yes.
positive energy
Energy.
brings out positive results as well. So, Dr. Anne, can you share one powerful affirmation with us before we go
So
on?
mine is scripture based. And I've used this particular scripture for so many years. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me.
All
I've
right.
used it for so long. I can remember times when I was in labor with my kids, when I was doing my PhD, difficult circumstances from day to day. Every day is my go to. I can instantly just
Mm,
remember it and it comes to mind, and then I'm ready to go. It combines everything that it's me, God as my anchor, and then life giving words.
hallelujah. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Okay, guys. So we're done with all the preamble of the beginning of the show. This is all to get you guys settled in and also to get your mind refocused, especially now that we're doing the show at evening time for those of us that are in the West African time zone. And then it's already midday, about midday ish for people in the Central time zone, like for Dr. AnnMaureen and people in Jamaica and stuff like that. So it's good for us to be able to have like a reset or recalibrate
Yeah.
so that we can be refreshed. That's why we shared affirmations so that you guys can feel like, okay, you know what? Whatever's happened before now, it's okay. I can release it and I can move on. So, are we ready, guys? Because I am ready. I'm ready to empower your lives. I'm ready, and my guest is ready. So, Dr. AnnMaureen, once again, welcome to Live a Phenomenal Life Show. So, I read out your bio earlier, but I would love you to share within 5 minutes a little bit of your backstory. What led you to this point to choose this particular field that you've chosen to master and also be someone that helps people to gain self esteem and
Yes.
also to fight fear from their lives?
Yes. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for this incredible opportunity. I follow Madam Merola. I'm just so impressed with the way she carries herself, the positive affirmations every day. That's the first thing I see on my feed, and I read that. It's great, and I love it. It's a great way to get the mental, your internal environment ready and set. So it's a pleasure and an opportunity I don't take lightly. So thank you so much for letting me be on your platform today. So my story. Um, I always want to say, life happens, okay? But I want to say I'm thankful for the
Mm,
experiences I've been through because we learn from those experiences. Those experiences strengthen us, be it negative experiences, being traumatic experiences, but to be able to see the silver lining within those experiences. We're talking about positive self talk. I was not always positive. I battled negative self-talk for a long time. For a long time. I wasn't always this bright and chipper. Or if I was bright and chipper, behind the face, behind the mask, was somebody who was dealing and fighting with her own inner fears, inner demons. Let me put it that way. And what precipitated that? For as long as I can remember, for as long as anyone knows me, from the age of 6, I wanted to be an electrical engineer. My maternal grandfather, my father's friend, they were the ones who inspired me. I followed them around when they were doing work. I loved the passion they had in their work. I loved the way they interacted with each other, with other people, and the way people responded to them. They treated people with respect, and they got that back. But also, in our Nigerian society at that time, what was really celebrated were those who were in professional fields. And then what I did see was that those who were celebrated in those fields also received a lot of, financial gain recognition. So although my heart lay in the creative arts, I was focused on that because that's what I saw and that's what I believed, and also as a woman that, okay, this is what will elevate me if I keep on with that. So I went on that journey. So throughout elementary school, throughout secondary school, I had to work really hard. I had good grades, but I had to work really hard because, again, that was not my true passion. Fast forward by the time I got to university, my first 2 years were fine. I was still also doing very well. I hadn't really started the core subjects. I can remember one single experience there. I made a B plus in trigonometry, and I remember having a meeting with the dean, and the dean told me, he said, because you made that B in that math, you're not supposed to be an engineer. You need to go into food science. I'm like, wow, I've made all A's up to all this point and just a B. But anyway, I didn't think anything about it. But that plays something later in my story. So by the time I started my core subjects, by the time third year, fourth year of engineering, I was failing academically. So engineering is 5 years here in the United States. I went all the way to 5 years. In my final year, I was like, you know what? This is not my calling. This is not my true passion. I don't want to be mediocre. I dropped out of the engineering program. It was the best thing to do, but then I was devastated. Everything that I had known myself to be, everything that everyone associated me to be as was that person. And I didn't know who I was. I was depressed. I didn't know who to turn to, where to turn to, what to do. And so that's where this traumatic experience is what started chipping at my self-esteem. I started having the self-esteem issues, the self-doubt, doubting myself, doubting my intelligence, everything because of that singular experience, because the wind was taken out of my sails, so to speak. And so through, counseling and other help along the way, I now honed in on conflict resolution. My passion for people, my passion for, you know, solving problems in a different way, not in the engineering way, but in the human way, in working with people. And I found that that's what resonated with me and also resonated strongly because I had internal conflict at that time. And so that was my foray into the conflict resolution field. My master's, my PhD, I went into that to explore the power of words, how we use those words to ourselves. So I did it on a large scale, but then went down even narrower because conflict starts within us. All those self-limiting beliefs, all those inner fears starts within us. And the way we talk to ourselves, words are powerful. It can fuel, it can make you, can build you up to see those possibilities and achieve those possibilities. And at the same time, to destroy you. And so that's what I learned, that how I talked to myself was what was doing me in, was what had kept me stuck for so long, is what had kept me in that depressed mood. And I needed to do something about it. And I found that out through self-talk. Self-talk as a way to combat that conflict within me, to propel me to start working in my purpose, to start achieving. And so when I was able to hone in on my why, when I was able to change my negative messaging, oh my goodness, it was it from then on. And so I'm so passionate about that. I want people to understand the power of words, how that impacts them, how that impacts the outcome of their lives, and of course, how that impacts their relationship with others. So this is why I do self-esteem work. I have lived it. I understand it. I know the fears. I know how stuck I was. I know how those experiences prevented me from seeing the good. And so I went through this for years in overturning the way I did life, the way I saw life, and the way I spoke to myself. That's my story.
I forgot to unmute myself. Wow, what a story. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for also being vulnerable enough to tell us that, that you also had to go through that transition of being negative minded, having low self esteem, and then discovering that, okay, so we actually can be our own conflict resolution managers. We can choose to become the ones that change how we see ourselves, the words we speak to ourselves, and also that we can decide to become our own inner cheerleaders rather than our own inner critics. Powerful. Thank you so much. So you've already told us basically about why we need self-talk. So for those that don't really understand it per se, what are the other benefits that we can see from positive self-talk? Because sometimes we hear self-talk. So self-talk and affirmations, are they
Information,
the same thing? Or affirmations basically one of the tools used in self-talking? Okay.
both. So they are in the same, affirmations and self-talk are in the same family. They are all in the same family. It's good to use both. And I use affirmations within self-talk. So the difference I would say for affirmations. So affirmations is almost in a general sense, almost holistically or spiritual level. So not even just as Christians, but other religions, they do practice affirmations because it's more like being one with yourself, oneness. Whereas opposed to self-talk, self-talk is you self-directing your mind to do a particular thing. And self-talk
Okay.
makes you stay in the present. It makes you act. It makes you direct your mind to say, okay, I'm going to do this. So for example, I can give a quick example. If you
Please
tell your
do.
mind, I can't do this. I'm not ready for this. And then you want to rephrase that. You can say, I can do this. I can make plans to put myself on track at this particular time, at this particular time of the day. That's a difference. So you're telling yourself, I'm
Okay.
going to do this. You're not telling yourself, I will do this. I'm going to do it now. So that's the major difference between self-talk and affirmation. But it's a great thing to practice both because both help to redirect your mind. Both help you to think about yourself, your situation in a positive manner, which is so important. And because our minds fulfill whatever we tell it. And if we
Yeah.
fill our minds with those affirmations and those self talk, then we're setting ourselves up for success. But that's the major difference. Self talk, pretty much you are erasing those, for so long you've had all these negative, busted images in your mind, negative messaging that you have heard for so long. And what you're
That's
doing is
right.
now replacing it with something beautiful, replacing it, rewiring your brain, rewiring the way you think about yourself. You're rewriting a new narrative for yourself, a new bio. This is the way I see myself now. This
Mhm.
is true to what I am and what I'm going to be. That's what self-talk is.
I love it. And it also shows us that we have the power to
Yes.
choose what we want for
Yes.
ourselves, how we see ourselves. Because if you are saying self-talk, right? We know that we have our inner critics and sometimes our negative voices that will come. And I always say that, the voices we hear most of the time in the day is our own voice. Our
Yeah.
own voice is speaking to us in our head about stuff, and it can be limiting or it can be empowering depending on how we choose to um, use those voices. So no matter how good you get in life, because you and I, we both practice this on a daily basis, we can still get the negative voices coming in and trying to, erode what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So it is something you must practice like a habit, because you're going to start it and you're just going to be like, it's not working. Like,
Right. Right.
seriously, it's not working. Because what are these two ladies on the screen talking about? That I'll just start telling myself that, oh, I can make 1,000, I can make $10,000 and stuff like that. Like, does it just happen like that? Is it magic? Of course, it's not magic.
No.
But then they say if you can think it, you can believe it, you can achieve it. So it's the same thing with self-talk, right? If you tell yourself that I do not have the wherewithal to be able to manifest or become wealthy, guess what? You will not be able to become wealthy.
Yep.
So, as Dr. Ann said, that we're rewriting the script. It's
Yes.
just like when you're watching a movie or watching TV,
I
right?
like that
There's some
analogy.
channels you don't like. You have the right to switch to another channel. Do
Yes.
the same. Self talk is the same. You literally switch the channel in your mind, in your brain to say, no, I'm not going to allow this thought to fester.
Yep.
I'm not going to allow this thought to stay with
Yes.
me and then I let it build. I'm going to instead choose to rewrite the script from saying I can't to I can, from to say that I will and that I am. So I love the fact that we can use I am statements, I can statements, and I will statements all in self talk. So I would like you to give us some very practical things that people can do, especially those that have been struggling for years because of limiting beliefs, because of conditioning. They're surrounded by people that are very toxic and speak negative words into their life, that they've become the embodiment of those negative words. What can you start to tell them to do from today that will start to change the way they see themselves and speak about themselves, so that they can start to get better results in life from this rewiring that you're talking about?
Yes. So there are so many things that you can do. I will share a couple of things. Like I'm with you. I'm all about the practicality of things. And so one thing that you did say, and I'll echo it again because it's very important. You have to be intentional. You have to be proactive about this. You cannot just do this one day and then you give it up. You have to continuously do this. And that's the way self talk works. Research has shown that if we do this repetitiously, we do this every day, that we will, our brain, let me just put this, our brain spits out the most powerful message that we give it to. So if you fill your mind with these affirmations, with this self talk, guess what? Your brain is going to keep bringing to the fore, this is how you are now. 77% they say of our messaging is negative. So that's why we have to be intentional. That's why we have to rewire and
Wow.
change that. Yes, 77%. The research showed, so this is not fluff. That's like Madam Marina
Woo!
said earlier on. This stuff is not fluff. This stuff works. This stuff is, when they say put your mind captive under the word of God, all that things that are life giving is true. There's a reason for it, there's a genius behind it. So, first things first, things that you can do, start monitoring, start being aware. Anyone can tell you if you are stuck, you are depressed. Now you are aware that, I need to make a change. There are things that I need to do to change the way I think about myself. So, first thing, you can start monitoring the things that you're saying to yourself. Observe, when do these thoughts come in? Who am I talking to? What am I doing when this voice is coming? Where am I? When do they come in? So you need to monitor to be able to start defeating, disabling these inner fears, these self-beliefs. You need to know how it shows up. And you need to know what exactly is it that he's saying. So I have always suggested to people, once you first start this, it's good practice to write it down. The more you do it, you can start doing it internally yourself. Write down the most negative things that come to mind. You can write down the first 5 or the first 10 to start working on first. Because the more you do it, and I've seen, and I can testify to this, the other parts of your life, you start falling into place. You start rewiring the other parts of your life. Once you start tackling, those first 5 or first 10, write it down. And then when you write it down, I always suggest, because self-talk deals with the present, to attack it in the right then and then. Do not wait and say, I'll come back to those thoughts. Right there and then, speak to those thoughts. Speak life into your mind, into whatever is being said. No, this is not who I am. Rephrase what that negative thought is. Do that continuously and repeat it continuously, and that becomes your own mantra. You have
That's
rewritten
right.
your own bio. You have written your own affirmation, your own self-talk. So you need to monitor. That's the first thing. Edit it, rephrase it immediately, attack it. And then thirdly, I suggest listening to self-talk. Listening, reading it, listening for a minimum of 15 minutes per day. It makes a huge difference. You can do it while you're driving, eating, exercising. The whole point again is you're directing your mind to think positively. Because when you think positively, you have a better perception of yourself. And when you have a better perception of yourself, guess what? You're going to act positively and act in a manner that your mind is telling you. It's a science. It's not
Yeah.
rocket science. It's not magic, like you said earlier on. It works. And then when you do that, the fourth step is practice. Do it consistently. I like that practice makes progress. Perfection, I always tell people, is unattainable. Progress is within reach. And you can do that on a daily basis and you will see the difference. Self-talk, Madam Merola, they said once done consistently for even 3 weeks to a month, you start seeing is a major difference. You can start unwiring things from the past because you're rewriting a new story for yourself. Things like letting go of the past, because the past is what has keeps you really stuck. Forgiving
Yeah.
yourself, forgiving others is a huge deal. Is a huge deal. You can let that go. That's one way of preventing you from staying stuck and those negative messagings in your mind. But to wind it down, I have that my fault. Madam Merola mentioned I was a teacher, and I use this framework: the who, the what, the when, and the why. Start examining that in your life. Who is in your inner circle? Who are those that speak to you on a consistent basis? Who do you let in your inner space? In your that's so is so important. Are they encouraging you? Are they propelling you, or are they taking you back? You need to monitor that, and you need to start making those changes quick. If those people are not speaking life into you,
Mhm.
your environment, where are you? What environment are you in? If that environment is stifling you, if that environment is making you feel less than yourself, my friends, you have to check out. When? When is now? I always say, when should you do this? You need to start acting and making those changes. What? What is the vehicle that you're going to use to make those changes? We're giving you
Mm.
tools here: the self-talk, listening, practicing the monitoring, rephrasing, letting go of the past. And there are a host of others which I can share as time permits that you can do. But these are just the basic things that you can start doing now.
Whoa, come on now. You just delivered like a mini masterclass in like 5, 10 minutes. That was amazing. And
Thank
it's so
you.
true, right? That we are what we repeatedly do as creatures, as humans, right? So that's why I said it becomes a habit. And like every habit, it takes time for it to start to become um something you don't have to think about. It just
Mhm,
becomes automatic because of the
mhm,
fact that you've constantly honed the skill of doing it over and over and over again. So it's not that the negative thoughts will not come. As
no.
Dr. AnnMaureen said, it comes that 77% of the time, you're going to still have negative thoughts that are going to pop up in your mind. It's about having the power to be able to rewrite, to rephrase whatever happens. And that's where the power and the authority that we have as human beings comes. And that's why I like the fact that they say that the words we speak, it's energy. The Christians would say it's spirit and life, it's energy. So whatever you give energy to is what expands. So
Yes.
if you give energy to negative self-talk, it's going to expand. You
Yes.
start to see yourself becoming a mirror of your negative talk.
Mhm.
But when you actually expand on your positive self-talk, you start to see in the mirror exactly what you're giving power to. So I remember when people used to make fun of me when I started this affirmation journey and stuff, because I suffered from severe depression and I was suicidal. And nobody believes that because they see me like, hey, it's not
Wow.
possible.
Yeah.
You're so full of energy. You're so joyful and stuff. And I said, it can happen to anybody.
Anybody.
It can
That's
happen
right.
to
So
anybody.
true.
It just takes you allowing one useless, defeating bad thoughts to
Yes.
continue to grow and
Mm.
magnify till it becomes a giant that
Yes.
is crushing you and crushing the life out of you.
Out of you.
So
Yeah.
I'm speaking from experience that once I was able to start to reduce that power and make it shrink till it became nothing,
Yes.
then I was just like, so all the things that I was always like thinking, oh my gosh, my life is about to end and stuff. All I needed to do was to reprogram those same thoughts and say that, okay, you know what? This doesn't define me. This
Yeah.
does not change who I am. It is an experience I went through. It is a comma, not a full stop.
I
My
love it.
life is still going on. So why should I allow that singular thought or whether there's series of those thoughts that are negative to dictate how my future would be? So I have the power to create my life that I want now with the words I speak, with the thoughts that I think, and with the actions that I take. So it's a three-part thing. If you agree with me, Dr. Ann, that when
Yes.
we say those things to ourselves, it allows us to start to believe it and then we start to act in it. Many
Yes.
times, a lot of us, the reason why this positive self-talk is not working is because we don't say it enough to ourselves to the point where we start to believe it.
Believe
If you
it.
don't
Yeah.
believe it, it will not work for you.
No.
I am telling you this category. Many of you know me. The
And
only
yes,
reason why I'm this positive and energetic and stuff is because I go through all manners of craziness as well in my life, but I'm able to rewrite the script in my
yes.
mind. I'm able to tell myself that you are more than this. You are built for more. You are a conqueror. You are an overcomer. So
Come on.
this too, you can overcome it. And I start to tell myself all those kind of things. And before I know it, I start to already find solutions. I start to see ways in which my life is becoming better. And then, that thought, psh, it's gone,
Exactly.
like poof, gone.
Exactly.
And I'm certain.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly with what Madam Merola is saying. What you think really influences the way you see yourself, and then the way you see yourself translates into the way you act. All of that is so true. It's so key. It's so key that we be intentional about the way we talk to ourselves. I always tell people, talk to yourself as you would talk to yourself, as you would talk to your best friend. Would you talk to your best friend in a manner that is degrading? Will you talk to your best friend in a manner that, just takes the light out of them? No. What you want to be is to be an inner cheerleader. That's what you want to be to yourself, not to others. And for so long, for me, it came naturally for me to do that to others, but I didn't do that to myself. And that was where the work I needed to do on myself came in. That, you know what? I am worthy of that attention. I'm worthy of rewriting my own script, not just doing the same for others, but for myself. To dealing with that internal conflict that I had, rewriting my entire story. So even now, talking about my experience that I suffer from low self-esteem, I had self-doubts. I don't mind sharing it because it doesn't define me. I know people are skittish about talking about, low self-esteem. No, because we all deal with that in varying degrees, some more than others. You have parts of your life that you're not as confident as you are in other parts of your life. But then you can use self-talk to attack those parts of your life that you're not comfortable with. I'm not saying that everybody will be on social media talking about, this is how they have struggled with self-esteem or self-doubt. It's different from other people. This is the route I have chosen to. Well, I've chosen to bring out this story because for so long I hid under this story. I didn't want this story to be heard by anyone else. I felt a lot of shame, a lot of guilt. But then when I started rewriting my narrative, when I started rewriting the script, and I thought, and I said, well, this is a story that others can probably resonate with. Somebody else can probably understand and learn and share from it. I have become better because of this experience. This experience has made me stronger. This experience helped me find self talk, and it has helped me in other areas of my life. I think Madame Merola must be having some technical difficulties. Let me see. Does anyone have an emoji to see if you can still hear me, just to make sure? But yes, so self talk is a very useful tool to use. Think about it this way: we're all born into this world with a blank slate. I remember my sociology teacher would say, "What's that term? Tabula rasa. You're a blank slate." So we came into this world nothing, just blank. When your mom had you in the labor ward, all you wanted was, to be breastfed, to be nourished. And I love using this analogy of a mom who had twins. So if she had twins in the labor ward, and unfortunately one of those twins was taken away from her. And then fortunately, 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, they found that child. But if you were to compare both twins, it's something different. Why? Because of their environment. Welcome, Madam Merola.
Thank you. I said, oh, the room was getting too hot. So the network was like, oh, I'm going to kick her out.
No way. No way.
Yes. Please
Well,
go
I was
on.
just still
Continue.
sharing. I was still sharing with them, and what I was letting them know is that we can take care of this inner fears, inner demons that we have. I said we were all born with a blank slate. We came into this
Yes.
world, so a lot of this stuff that we have heard came from our environment, from what people told us, so we can change all of that.
Wow. Amazing, amazing. So I'm just putting in the comments from people, but and I disappeared so that we can also you can interact with the okay. So you've got people sending you hearts and claps and stuff. So you got Musa. Oh, Zainab is here loud and clear. So they're saying they could hear you when I was gone. And
Okay.
then, of course, people saying they're glad to have me back. Yes. So
Oh
basically,
yeah.
start to use positive self-talk. So for people that are in environments, you talked about that, in an environment that is negative or toxic, but they cannot get out of that situation for now. So what would you advise for such people?
Hmm. Madam Merola, that's a really tough one. That's a really tough one because short from isolating yourself from those people, if that person is in the same house, if there's a way that you can shorten your interaction with that person, because words, I can't stress it enough. The effect of what the words stick on you. They don't roll off. You can't wash them off. You can't pour water and then the words roll off. When words get into you, they stick, they stay, they fester, their tentacles are entrenched in you. So
Hmm.
if you're in a situation where you're somebody who is not encouraging you, the first thing you need to start putting plans in place that you can extricate yourself from that situation at some point in time. I'm just being honest. There is no way that you're going to grow and you're going to keep on growing and you're going to try to actualize if you are in an environment, you are trying to change your mindset, and then somebody it keeps on doing the opposite for you. It's going to be hard, except if you're going to be able to minimize your interaction with that person. As if you keep your interaction with that person brief, then okay. So I'm even thinking about it in the sense, if that's what you're referring to, if maybe for couples, if you're in a marriage relationship, for instance, and that person that is next to you is always negative, I will suggest you need to have, of course, you need to talk to that person, tell them how this is affecting you, that this if this doesn't stop, then we have to talk about other ways that we are going to work out this relationship, or if this relationship is going to work. You have to be honest, you have to talk about
Mhm.
that. And another way I've also suggested to people is to start playing self-talk for those people, because unfortunately for those people who are giving you life defeating words, they are also suffering from that. Something in their past has made them the way they are. So start playing it. So it's almost like you are spying on somebody. I put it that way. Play self-talk. Listen, there's just something that, and that's the genius in self-talk. And that's why I suggest when you listen to self-talk, you can do it when you're eating, driving, exercising, or you're not actively
Cooking,
listening.
whatever it is. Mhm.
Exactly. Play it in the household. I do that for my kids. I was surprised the other day, the letter my son wrote to me. I'm like, wow, they're listening. So do that in that environment for that person who is there. Just play self-talk. That will help also change the way they talk, the way they see things. But the most important thing is you have to have a heart-to-heart conversation with that person and let them know this is not working. And if this continues, then things, you have to do something alternative to change. But to be honest, to be in an environment with somebody who is always negative, you're not going to go too far. That's just the honest truth.
I actually want to say something about that because if you look at a lot of homes, especially the ones in Africa, I don't know about other homes, so I can't really talk about how people, Caucasians, I know for a fact that Asians can also be really hard on
Mhm.
their children and stuff. So when many people grew up under a verbally abusive environment, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Because it was all under the auspices of we're training you to be
Yeah.
tough and to be able to become the better version of yourself. But we know better now that it was verbal abuse. When
Mhm.
somebody's telling you that, oh, why are you like this? Why are you slow? Why are you not as intelligent? Why are you not as beautiful? Why are you not smart? All those things have a way of playing with us. So the reason why I mentioned environment is because I had a similar situation
Mhm.
where I was surrounded by people
Mhm.
that were verbally abusive and also had a lot of, and it was all based on conditioning, and they didn't see anything wrong with it.
Mm.
So, you know, this adage that we grew up with as children, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me, which is a total BS. It is so untrue. Like, for me, if you want to hurt me faster than anything else, just say really bad things to me. And trust me, you and I will probably not be friends again because I can forgive many things. But once you start talking trash, I'm like, okay, you know what?
Come out of
We're
here.
over. We are over. So there was a divine revelation I got, and I want to share because I don't know who is listening right now. So I believe there's somebody that is going to watch this video, either the replay, and you are in a circumstance, you're in an environment that you wish you were not in, but you do not have any other choice. I want to tell you, you can operate and function as a desert rose. A
Mm.
desert rose is a rose that still blooms and flourishes in an environment where there seems to be nothing good, where there's nothing that is supposed to give it nourishment. Yet that rose still thrives, that rose still blossoms, that rose is still able to be fragrant, is still able to diffuse its essence. Whoever you are, I want you to know that the power within you is greater than your environment. Your environment should not dictate how you become because of the fact that you do not have the means to
To
come out
be.
of that environment. Continue to empower yourself within your mind to say that I am not my environment. I am not limited by the people and the things around me. I am bigger than this, and I will keep on flourishing like a desert rose, even though everything else around me is not nourishing. Whatever I can say to myself internally, that is enough for me to become a mighty oak tree. I hope somebody is blessed by that to know that your
Woo.
environment, as powerful as it can be, should never change the core of who you are or diminish your mindset and the power that is already within you for you to thrive and flourish.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness, Madam Merola. That was powerful. That was powerful. Very powerful. Your mind. Yeah, I agree. Can change anything, can do anything. The power really is within us. Is within us.
It
We've been given
is.
that power. Words can hurt, so we need to know how to discern them with truth and positive affirmation. Excellent, Michael. Excellent. Excellent.
You
Yes.
know, because the reason why I felt we needed to talk about this is because we're talking about self talk. We're talking about the things that you feed your mind. Once
Yeah.
you start to see limitations, oh, these things that Dr. AnnMaureen is saying, it's only possible for the people that have money. It's only
No.
possible for the people that, you know, these are anchors that people hold on to. It's only possible for the people that have time.
No.
Me. So, excuse me. We
No.
all have the same 24 hours in the day.
Mhm.
We are, you can be born into a rich home, but that does not mean you have a rich life.
Nope.
Rich life is a state of condition of your mind,
Mind.
not
Yes.
about the money in your bank account.
Yes.
A wealthy mindset is what will tell you that you are living an abundant life, even though other people are seeing scarcity around you. You will be the same person that all you have is 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, and you are celebrating the abundance of God. And
Yes.
you can also be the same person that has 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, and you say, Kai, how am I going to survive?
Mhm.
This was this 5 loaves. So it's all about the richness of your mind. It's all about what you feed yourself.
Mhm.
That is the reason why we say everything is a choice. I love the fact that she said, listen to self talk. So there are many shows out there that are edifying, that are building
Yes.
you up. You will not watch that. You prefer to go and watch the other kind of nonsense that will make you start to be having nightmares and also thinking impure thoughts.
Yup. Tuck.
It's a
Yes.
choice. It's a choice. What
It
you
is a
listen
choice.
to, what you watch, guard your eyes
Your
because
ears.
they say it's the window to your soul. Guard your ears because it is what feeds your mind and your spirit. You
Have to
have
be
every
intentional.
right. to block out people that are not speaking life to you. You have that right. If somebody is in your face and they're talking, start talking to yourself as they're talking so that you block them out. So that whatever they're saying, garbage in, garbage out, is not even allowing time to fester. It's just gone immediately.
Yeah.
Man, you don't need to be rude. You don't need to answer them back. Start talking to yourself at that point in time. Silent communication with
Yeah.
yourself, telling yourself the right things.
Oh my
You are
goodness.
stupid in your mind. You're saying, I am not stupid. I am
Yep.
intelligent. I am
Yes.
brilliant. I am bold. I am. Talk.
I'm a
Be nice
masterpiece
to yourself. Speak well to
to
yourself at
yourself.
all times.
Yes.
Otherwise, there are people that are ready to
To
cut
tear
you
you
to
down.
pieces, ready to finish your life. There are some that they are even what I call frenemies. They are enemies disguised as friends. You have them in your family, you have them in your surroundings, and some of them they are like cockroaches and leashes. You can't get rid of them. But what are you gonna do? You can't start to okay. By the time you start to say okay, this person, then you say okay, I have no family member left because
You
we
limit
are
you.
listening,
Yes.
people.
Yes.
We can't cut off everybody. So
Everybody.
it's about
Mhm.
you learning personal mastery, how to
Mhm.
control yourself, how to control your thoughts.
Mhm.
Dr. Anne, please just blow them with some more thoughts as to help
It's,
them to challenge their limiting mindset, because I don't want somebody to end 2021 with this same problem that it's because of the things that they're listening to that is
yes.
holding them back. We need to break that bond and that chain
That
today.
yoke. Yes.
It
Yes.
must
And
be
you
broken.
you said
You
you
must
said
be
it so
set
well.
free. That
Yes.
captivity in your mind, you must be set free today.
Now, and you can
Exactly.
do it. It's within reach. It's not magic. You can do it. It's what you feel. I love what she said, and it's exactly. And Madam Merola, when you just said I got chills because I had to make that call. The things that I watched, the things that I listened to,
Mhm.
yes, I had to change that. And that's why I said what you listen to, the self-talk, the podcast, the music, all those things fester, all those things, they are bringing those things into your life. So you need to be mindful of that. And that's why I talk about, with my conflict resolution background, is why I said you need to forgive yourself. I had to do that and forgive others, however, whatever the situation is. Accepting responsibility for where I erred and accepting that whatever this person did or whatever they did, yes, but then moving beyond that, letting go, because that's a huge thing. Because when you start letting go, you're now able to start seeing things in a new light. Your perspective changes. You're now
Absolutely.
open and you're now welcoming new ideas, new people, new environments. You see what that happens when you start letting go of those things in your mind, letting go of the past. And that's what self talk does. Self talk makes you stay in the present or not trying to hope that maybe the future will be. No, do what you're supposed to do now so that you can impact the future positively. Let go of the
I agree.
past so that you change your perspective. Then, if you're struggling, what is your purpose in this on this earth? There's a reason why all of us has been put on this earth. We all have a why. We all have a purpose. We all have something that we're passionate about. When you start having something that you're passionate about, that is fueling you every day, that keeps you up awake, that this is what I want to do, you are also speaking to yourself. You're telling yourself, I'm worth it. All those people who are talking to you or saying all those things, no, but you have a purpose. God has ordained you for this. You know it. There is something liberating. There's a freedom in knowing your purpose, in knowing why you were put on this earth. We're put on this earth to be of service to other people, to be of value to other people. So if you have not been able to find that purpose or you're not working in that area of being of service to others, then where is that fulfillment that will propel you to start acting in the manner that you have always envisioned for yourself? So take the time, if you haven't, or if you're struggling, or you are not happy with where you are, take that time to think about why am I put on this earth? What am I supposed to be doing? Who do I need to be talking to get me there? What do I need to do? Where do I need to be able to actualize that? Look, so working on your purpose, listening, I can't stress it enough, listening to self-talk on a daily basis. Rewire that mind. Start doing that now. Start doing that now because you radiate what's inside of you, and people are attracted to what you radiate. So if you are radiating those positive thoughts, guess what? You are going to bring in people. That's look at the way I was connected to Madame Merola. Yeah, I see it that way. That's how people come into your life. It's not even by any you don't even work so hard for that. They will come. They will come because that's what you're radiating. So listen to self-talk. And then most importantly, start acting. When you start acting, you start disabling those inner fears because you're stepping out. You don't have to go all in, all out, one step at a time. And that's how you start disabling those self doubts, those self esteems. These are things that I had to do, that I had to get out of my comfort zone to start confronting those things that made me afraid. So start acting, start doing that now. And Madam Merola also mentioned that I think a while back, being grateful, having an attitude of gratitude. That's powerful. Start off the
And
morning
also being
being
joyful.
grateful. Joyful, yes. Start off the day that way. Throughout the day, you remember, so it doesn't have to be something monumental, something small. See the silver lining. Being grateful elicits all those positive emotions. Again, what you're trying to do is resetting the mind, keeping your mindset in a state of being positive, talking to yourself the way you talk to your best friend. Be grateful.
Mm.
At the end of the day, you be grateful. And then you still need professional help. You can invest in a coach, mentor, counselor, whatever it is that can help guide you so that you don't keep staying in those repeated, negative cycles that you're always in. So some things that you can do.
Absolutely. Fantastic points that you've raised there. And it is statistically proven that the people that have this positive self talk going in tend to be more confident and
Yes.
also tend to become much more successful in life,
Yes.
because you cannot be truly successful if you have what I call stinking thinking.
Yeah.
So if you can get rid of that negative mindset that keeps on, barricading you from pushing you through to be able to go to the length and the breadth that you need to go to in life, you just find out that this new world of possibility opens up to you, because you start to tell yourself that I can do this. I am better than what I currently am, and I'm the only person holding myself back. And that's why you need to guard yourself from comparison. Don't compare yourself to
To
others,
others.
because we're all here to run individual races. Yes, we
Mhm.
are collective and we function as connected dots to each other. But we all have our individual missions and purposes, and we also have our timeline. So my timeline and Dr. Ann's timeline is not the same. So
Yes.
I cannot say, Dr. Ann already has PhD. I don't have. Oh my God. I've not yet done anything useful in my life. And that will start to make me start to look at myself such as, so that's negative self-talk
Yes.
already.
Already.
By comparing myself with someone else, I'll start to see things that maybe I do not have yet. Meanwhile, Dr. AnnMaureen might be looking at me and say, oh, I wish I was as a, as energetic as
Vivacious.
Madame Merola and stuff like that. And you would not know that the other person is envying you. You're busy envying somebody else. So it's so important not to compare yourself. So I want you guys to do an exercise today. I want you to actually write down as many things as you desire for yourself. Even if you don't believe it yet, write it down.
Yes.
Write it down and then get your phone and then record yourself speaking those things. Dr. AnnMaureen talked about self talk. The most powerful voice you will ever hear in your lifetime is your own voice. Your own voice. So instead of you, I would love it, of course, for you to listen to me all day long, charging you up. I would love it if you listen to Dr. AnnMaureen. But guess what? How powerful and how liberating is it for you to be able to press play on your phone and you hear your own voice telling you, I am powerful beyond measure. I am limitless. I am an enigma. I am a voice that many people listen to. I am, just keep saying as many things. I can do all things. I am going to succeed in my area of vocation, in my career. My business is right. My children are happy. Everything. Start speaking. The more you say those things and you're hearing it with your own voice, it sinks into your depths way faster than any other voice
Yeah.
can connect with you, because your whole body is already wired to your voice. So when your voice is played back to yourself, everything stands up at attention. That is your assignment for today. In this
Love
program,
it.
we do not teach people to just come here and acquire knowledge. We encourage you to be a
Act.
doer of whatever. Look, I don't care. You can learn everything. Everybody has access to information nowadays. What is limiting most of us is the action. We do not take action. That is why I'm ending this chat with Dr. Ann by saying, if you want Dr. AnnMaureen to be happy that she came on this show today, the best thing you can do is do this exercise. Write down as many positive affirmations. If you are struggling, go to my page. Go to Dr. Ann's page on Instagram. You will see so many that will speak to you. Write them down and start to, once you've written as many as you can, record it. Record it and play it to yourself every day for 21 days. Play it every day for
Really
21
change.
days and tell me if your life, if there is not a shift in the way you do things, in the way you
Yes.
process things, okay? It is
That's
important.
awesome.
I hope you guys are going to promise that you're going to do this assignment. If you're going to do this homework, type it in the screen so that we can keep you accountable, okay? It is important because we want to know that you guys accountability is important because you can say, oh, we'll do it and you'll not do it. And you're only deceiving yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Dr. Anna and I cannot help you beyond what you're ready to help yourself with. So we are here to share with you the tips and tools, but you have the job of doing the work. Everything in life requires work. Like the work to transform yourself inside so that you can see the result on the outside requires your input, requires you taking that step of faith, requires you moving away from that fear, that bondage that is holding you back so that you can start to live a life that you truly love and be phenomenal in all ways. I hope you guys are being
Phenomenal life.
blessed so far. Yes, a phenomenal life, not an ordinary life, not a good life, not a great life, a
Phenomenal.
phenomenal one. There's a
Yes, I
difference.
love it.
It's on the highest level. You want a phenomenal life, guys. We don't play here. We want you guys to have a phenomenal life.
Yes.
Okay? And we don't want it to be the fake kind of phenomenal life whereby
Nope.
it's only on social media and stuff.
Uh-uh.
Real one that people in your neighborhood and stuff or people that come in
See.
contact with you will be able to see that truly this person is a bright light and that the aura that you diffuse is so contagious that they are just lit up automatically by being around you. It's so important. Okay. So Dr. Anne Maureen is on Instagram as Dr. Anne Maureen, as it's on the screen. So you can follow her and also DM her today, if possible. Let her know that you met her on my show. She has some programs that she's been running. She had a masterclass recently. It was absolutely amazing. Something about fear fighting, right? Please
Yes.
just share a little bit about that before we close the show.
Yes. So as I shared with my story earlier on about, fighting fear, inner fear. So I came up with the fear fighter course. So the course there within that course helps you to deal with your fears, how to disable those self-limiting beliefs, how to step into your purpose. And I go through in depth extensively, extensively. You will do the work, but you'll come out of it transformed. So the Fear Fighter course is to help you disable those self-limiting beliefs, helping you to achieve this phenomenal life that we're talking about, this life-changing life that we need, the life-changing success that you have always wanted and that is within reach and that is within you. That's what the Fear Fighter course does. I also have self-talk audio recordings. If you would like to listen to that too on a daily basis, I also have the script that you can read to as well. You can paste around wherever you need to because I'm all about listening, reading, just infusing your mind in every way possible with that self-talk. So I have that as well. And then I have my own coaching programs. I have a 6-week intensive coaching program called the Peace of Mind Coaching Program. Within that program, again, we go in depth into those experiences that have kept you stuck, that have prevented you from moving into your and unleashing your true potential. I do everything by assessing which are the pillars that have prevented you in your mind from actualizing your true potential, helping you to know which are the dominant negative self-talk pillars in your mind. I do an assessment about that. And like I said, we go down into the root to deal with those experiences that have kept you stuck and give you those strategies that you can use on a daily basis to combat and disable those negative self-limiting beliefs. So that's what I do.
Powerful. So as I said, you can connect with her at Dr. AnnMaureen on Instagram, exactly the way it's spelled on the screen. Do you have a website?
I
And
do. It's
okay, what is it?
www.peacecenteredservices.com.
What did you say? Kiss?
Peace Centered
Okay, Peace Centered. That's right. I know your company's name. Peace Centered.
Services.com.
Okay. So you can actually connect with her by also going to her website, and then you will be able to find all these different models there. So we're just about to end the show. We're already 5 minutes past the hour. But I would just ask some few personal questions just to get to know Dr. Anne a little bit more before she runs away. So, Dr. Anne Maureen, how many languages can you speak?
Oh, well, I do. So there are three. So English, of course, is one of them. And I used to, this is why we say we have to watch the power of our words. So I used to speak and understand Igbo fluently until I told myself that I don't want to.
Wow.
It's a different, is a, that, we can't get into that story today, but I have been praying and asking God to restore, because the moment I said that, the moment it left. There's power in our words.
Of
There's
course, there
power in our
is.
words. And the French I used to speak quite well. I wouldn't say at the intermediate level, but I haven't done that in a while because I don't have anyone to practice it with. But I can read more than I can speak it. Well, and then I can speak pidgin English fluently.
You have
I
to
love
teach
you,
me
Worry.
that. I struggle with that, but I want to get better at it. So I
I
would
grew
love
up
to
in Worry.
learn. Okay. So, what is your favorite food? So you can share one intercontinental dish and one local dish from your country of origin, which is Nigeria.
Yes. Oh man, for my local dish, rice. Anything rice. Oh my goodness. Jollof rice, fried rice. I love anything with rice. And then with veggies. So that's in the Nigerian sense. Intercontinental dishes, anything Indian and anything Asian. I love it.
Nice. Out of all the countries you've visited in the world, which is your favorite city?
I don't have a favorite city. I have places that remind me that have given me an experience within. So I don't have a favorite per se, but I have experiences that I hold with those cities. So I will name, for instance, Warri is where I grew up as a child. I have so many great memories there. Is where I learned how to interact with people of different cultures, different tribes. It was very cosmopolitan. And the way I am today was informed by that experience growing up as a child because I left the US for, right after high school. Another place, another city that really spoke to me, Vermont, here in the United States. It's very beautiful in the fall, the leaves and all whatnot. I love musicals a lot. And so that scenery reminded me of my favorite movie, Sound of Music. And again, when I think about Sound of Music, it just brings a lot of joy. And whenever I was in Vermont, it elicited that emotion within me until it got cold, until the snow arrived. Then it's not my favorite place to be. So those. So I associate. I don't have favorites. I just have favorite experiences in different cities that I have been to. So that's what I
Interesting.
hone on in. That does something that changes that does a mind shift for me. What that's what I would say is my favorite about being in certain cities.
Awesome. Thank you. Favorite color? What is your favorite color?
My favorite color is purple, but I don't wear it a lot. I don't. I can't tell you
Uh,
why, but that's
that
my
is so
favorite color.
funny.
But I don't. I don't. I hardly. I can. I probably have like 3 or 4 outfits in my wardrobe that is purple. But it's my
Oh,
favorite color. But I don't wear a lot. I can't tell you why.
how weird.
It is.
So I know there are many books that you've read that have shaped your life, but I want to ask you if you're to write a book today, what would the title of the book be?
Wow. Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one. It definitely will have something to do with the mind, for sure. Definitely, I'm trying to think about a title. This is a good one because maybe I might use that title. Um, winning, winning the fight within the mind.
Okay.
Winning the fight within the
So you
mind.
can rework it, but at least you can
Yes.
write it out and say winning
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fight within the mind. It sounds good.
I
So
love that. I
that's
love the
powerful.
question.
Okay, so my final question to you is that we all have finite time on this world.
Hmm.
So, what would your legacy statement be for people to remember that there was a lady called Dr. AnnMaureen Nwabuzor that worked upon this earth? So, if it was just going to be a sentence that people mention about you, what would it be as your legacy statement?
This brought tears to my eyes. Wow, that's deep. Thank you for that. I want to be remembered only for building people up, motivating people, and for them to believe and see in themselves that they're good enough and they're worth it. Period.
On that note, people, it's been an absolute pleasure and honor to have you join us from wherever you are watching this live broadcast of Live a Phenomenal Live Show with me, Madame Merola, the host, and my phenomenal guest, Dr. AnnMaureen Nwabuzor, all the way from Austin, Texas, in the United States. We've been talking about the power of positive self talk. We want you to know that everything that you need to live a phenomenal life, it's already within your possession. You just need to believe it. You need to start to rewrite the script that you have in your mind that has been negative up until this point and start to change it because you are the author of your life. You have the pen in your hand to be able to write whatever you desire. Don't let other people keep you in bondage. Don't let them define you. Don't let them limit you. And don't let what they say also diminish you in any way that you don't live the life that you've been created to. You are a beautiful and bold, audacious, no excuses, God's masterpiece. I want you to believe it. I want you to own it. I want you to live it. And I want you to die as one. Why? Because you must live this life to the fullest and die empty of everything that is good, that is comely, that is magnificent by the time your time is up. It is a pleasure and an honor to serve you. I don't take it for granted that you chose to be here instead of doing something else. I pray for you that as you watch this show today, maybe there had been some limitations you've been going through. Let those barriers be broken forever in
Yes.
your life so that you will be able to walk into a new world of endless possibilities, knowing that you are free to be and free to act because you have what it takes. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Madame Merola, and my guest is Dr. AnnMaureen. You can find us on our social media feeds on Instagram and on Facebook as the names that we put on the screen. And of course, if you're looking for coaches that will be able to empower you, to be able to guide you, and to be able to teach you how you can continue to be the boss of your mind, reach out to us. We would love to be your coaches. We would love to help you on your journey to truly living a phenomenal life. Take care of yourself, be good to you, and do you 100% unapologetically. God bless you all. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm reading all the comments. I want to show it to Dr. Abby before she disappears. So, Jenny says, yes, I was talking about recently. Our parents didn't know any better.
Mhm.
Michael says, another chance to be a bank. As always, remember the bank. Thank you. Jenny says, this is fire. Thank you. I have subscribed, though. Share on my community page. Oh, more. As the Nigerian
That's
that's coming
awesome.
out.
That's awesome.
Thank you, guys. Really, thank you, thank you, thank you. And as I said, if you're interested, I will soon put out the poster for the Joyful Challenge
Yes.
because we're going to end 2021
Joy.
full of joy to overflowing. Reach out to me on my page, and that way I'll make sure that you're added to the group for where the challenge will start very, very soon because joy is unlimited if only you can own it. Take care, guys. Love you all. Mwah! Beautiful. God bless you all.
Thank you so much. This was awesome. Beyond phenomenal.